So with Championship football returning on Friday, what I thought we'd do today is go over each club's newly released away kit for the upcoming season. I'll be giving them a ranking as to what I make of them. I'm not gonna lie, there are some absolute shockers that have come out from the Championship this year, but I'm interested to get your guys' opinion on what you make of them all. As of recording, Leeds United are the only club yet to release their away kit. Come on Leeds, get your act together. But instead of ranking their away kit, I'll rank their goalkeeper kit instead or something like that. If you do going to enjoy today's video, make sure you leave a like. It is always massively appreciated. Make sure you subscribe for some regular Championship content and get all your thoughts in the comments down below as to what you make of some of these kits. But without any further ado, let's hop into looking at some of them. And so we'll start the video out with Barnsley, and oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Now, we've not got off to a very strong start. I mean, this could be the sort of kit where you either love it or hate it. Judging by my reaction, you'll probably be able to tell which way I'm going for this one. I just think that's a really ugly kit. I'm not feeling this one at all. It's made by Puma. I wasn't the biggest fan of Barnsley's home kit this year, but compared to this one, I mean, this one's on a whole new level. It's that weird pattern they've got on the top of it and on the sleeves. It just looks out of place. It looks sort of like an ugly carpet you'd have in a dodgy hotel or something like that. It looks like it's been blasted with sand or something with the design pattern going on it there. It's not really doing it for me, this kit this year. I'd be interested to know if any Barnsley fans are a fan of this one. Maybe it'll look nicer in person, maybe. We'll see when we play Barnsley at Deepdale this season. But for Barnsley's kit, I'm sorry, it's going to have to be a D from me. Not feeling that one at all. After that, thankfully, we picked things up with Birmingham and their away kit this year. I like the look of this one. Quite a classy looking kit with the black and the white trimmings on it, made by Adidas. I think this is quite a smart looking kit. The one thing I can't ignore about it though is it's the same Adidas template top that a few clubs have got this season. You know, it's the same exact design pattern for the Leicester City away shirt, and that in turn is taken basically from the Germany national team kit. So it loses a few marks for not having that quite uniqueness about it, but the kit itself on face value, I do think it looks quite smart. Black away kits, they're kept simple and they are usually quite hard to mess up unless you're Barnsley and you try to do something wacky with the top of it. But for Birmingham, I think that's a decent looking kit. I'll give it a B. After that, we then got Blackburn Rovers, and for their kit this year, I'm lost for words. I really don't know what to say about this kit. It's unique, I'll give it that. It's certainly, you know, bold, it stands out. It's made by Umbro, it's got the green trimmings going on around the collar and the sleeves. I don't know if I like this. I'm really sort of lost for words with this one. It's a bizarre kit that's out there. It might grow on me as the season goes on and I actually get to see this one in the flesh. You know, it might be that sort of kit where you need to see it live to appreciate it. I'm gonna give them a C. That grading might rise as the season goes on, but for the time being, not really feeling that one. After that, we then get to Brentford, another kit made by Umbro this year, and Brentford's kit has had a drastic improvement from the one they had last year. If you cast your mind all the way back to then, they had an absolute disaster class with this one. A brown away kit with that pattern going on. The tacky Leo Vega sponsor. I hated everything about that away kit this year, but we're into a new season now, and Brentford have redeemed themselves with this one. I think that the black on the yellow trimmings looks really good. I like how they changed up the badge for this one as well to fit in. Overall, they've kept it fairly simple, but I think it's looking quite fresh, this one actually. The sponsor fits into it well. This is the sort of kit that I can appreciate. For Brentford, B+, decent effort. After that, we get to Bristol City, another side going for a black away kit this year. That tends to be the trend, but another club which has kept it fairly simple for this one. I think it's a nice looking kit. The white trimmings look good on it. The sponsor doesn't look out of place. I think that the red on the Bristol City badge looks actually quite nice blended into that kit. It's also got the button on it as well. I think that gives it a bit more uniqueness to it. I quite like it. Similar to their home kit, they have kept this one fairly simple. They've not really rocked the boat out too much with it, but a fresh looking kit nonetheless. For Bristol City, I'll give them a B as well. Decent effort for that one. For Cardiff's home kit in the previous video, I gave that one an A. For their away kit, however, not really feeling this one. I feel like it's a bit of a disappointment really, considering how good the home kit actually looked. If you're a fan of an orange away kit, you know, you'll probably be digging this one. And with a lot of other sides going for, you know, black away kits this year and a lot more darker colours, Cardiff have switched it up with a bit of a brighter one. I'm not really the biggest fan of it though. Blue and orange, they're certainly going to stand out in their away kit this season. It's another one which is made by Adidas. I feel like they've been a bit hit and miss with the kits they've been releasing this year. Some really nice ones and some a bit questionable ones. It's got the classic Adidas stripes going on the shoulder and then the blue trimmings going on around it as well. It's not awful, but I'm not really digging it as much as some others. I'll give it a C+, not quite up to the standard of the home kit. After that we get to Charlton Athletic, and I think they've done very well with this away kit this year. Another club who has decided to go for the black away kit this year, but this one's got a bit of uniqueness about it with the green and purple lines running across it. I think it looks really nice. I think that the white blends into it very well. The purple trimmings on the sleeves look good. It's probably my favourite out of the 3 kits that Charlton have released this year. They've also released their 3rd kit, this blue one, which I also think is a pretty nice looking kit as well. But the black away kit I think they've done very well with. With Charlton, I'm going to give them an A- for that away kit. Very nice indeed. We then get to Derby County. Derby have been doing well with their kits over the past few years, and this one continues in that trend. I'm a massive fan of just this colour of blue, actually. I really like it. It's got some nice detailings on the kit, which makes it look quite unique. It's not too in your face, but I think the subtlety and the colour on this one just looks really nice. Maybe it could have done with a little bit more on the sleeves or something like that to push it up to another level, but I think that one's a really nice looking kit. Also their 3rd kit as well, I'm also quite a big fan of that. I think that one's looking quite nice. If I had to be honest, I'd probably say that I'm a bigger fan of their away kit and their 3rd kit opposed to their home kit this year. I think they've done fairly well with these two. So for Derby, I'm going to give them an A. I think they've done a good job with these kits. Fulham's another away kit which I am digging this year. I'm a big fan of the red away kit they've gone for this time. It is a bit of a template Adidas top that they followed the similar formula for, but even so, I do like the look of this one. I like the red stripes and the white trimmings look good on this kit. I'm not going to lie, this is probably one of my favourite away kits this year actually. I actually really am digging this one. It's something about a red away kit, definitely an improvement on the away kit that Fulham had last year. I wasn't really feeling that one, but for Fulham this year, I'm going to give them an A. Massive fan of that kit. I think they've done a good job. After that we get to Huddersfield. Now Paddy Power and Huddersfield had everyone on strings basically when they released their mock-up home shirt, but this is what they've gone for with their away top this season. Obviously without the sponsor, gives it a bit of a retro look to it. I'm a bit mixed on what I make of this. I want to get your guys' opinions actually on what do you make of football kits with and without sponsors. Do you prefer them to have nothing on the shirt, or do you actually like it when the sponsor's on there? For me personally, I think it depends on the sponsor, but sometimes the sponsor can actually elevate a kit to the next level if it looks nice and fits into the kit. Sometimes when you're without, you know, you're in danger of making it look a little bit bland. I don't think that this Huddersfield kit per se drifts into that category, but it does give off those training top vibes if you get me. For Huddersfield, it's a nice kit. I'm not going to take anything away from it. I'll give it a B+, but just something feels a little bit missing from that one. Maybe a collar or something like that would have made this one a little bit better. Given how striking Hull's home kit was for this season, I felt like they tamed it back a little bit with the away kit. They kept this one fairly simple, but it's a decent looking kit. You know, they have kept it simple, Umbro, with this one, with the white top and the black trimmings going around it. It's also got that subtle pattern on it. I think it's the same pattern that the Derby away kit's got on it. This one's a little bit harder to pick up on because of the colour scheme, but it has got some detailings going on the shirt. You know, it's not just a plain white shirt. I think Hull's badge looks nice on this one. It contrasts, gives it a bit of colour to it, and overall, it's not a bad kit. I'll give it a B. Now, despite the fact that the season's kicking off on Friday, Leeds are still yet to release their away kit. So instead of ranking their away kit, we'll look at their goalkeeper kit, which I am actually a massive fan of. Clearly, you know, effort has gone into this one, which is a bit rare with goalkeeper kits. Usually it's just sort of a standard design template top, but if this was their away kit going into the season, I'd be a massive fan of that. I think this one's actually looking really nice. I can see a few Leeds fans actually opting to buy the goalkeeper kit this year because I think it's got a really nice unique look to it. When I was talking about the home kit on the previous video, I criticised it because it didn't really feel like a Leeds kit to me. I know there was reason behind making it silver, the platinum colour, but to me personally, it just looked a little bit bland and it didn't really scream Leeds United at me. This kit, however, I think it's got a really nice look to it. Yellow and blue looks fantastic together. The white 32 red sponsor looks really good. Overall, massive fan of that goalkeeper kit. I'd give that an A if that was their away kit. And, I mean, the away kit's got a lot to live up to because that's a banging goalkeeper kit. With Luton's away kit, I think I prefer the away kit than I do the home kit. I really wasn't feeling that whole home kit for them, but the white away kit, it's not my favourite this year, but it's alright. It's got a bit of uniqueness about it with the pattern it's got going on. The thing that makes it just look a bit weird is the whole armbands it's got going on around it. That just looks a little bit out of place. I prefer football kits when you got the sort of thin trimmings going on around the sleeves, but instead they got giant armbands which looks a little bit weird on the kit. I'm going to give it a C. I don't mind that kit, it's just the armbands on the side which just makes it look a little bit weird to me. Also, I want to get people's opinions on Luton's third kit as well, because that's pretty bold. It looks very sort of disco floor-esque. But we're pushing the levels back up again with the Middlesbrough kit. This one's dragging us right back up there. One of my favourite away kits this year. They've gone for the white, but the design pattern and the colour scheme looks really nice on this shirt. The 32 red blends in well, and the half and half sort of box they've got going on there of the red and the navy. I think that looks really nice. It's got the trimmings on the sleeve, which I'm a fan of. It's got that thin red line and then the trimmings around the neck as well. It's also got a design pattern going on the shoulders as well. This is a really smart shirt. I think I prefer the away kit this year for Borough than I do the home kit. For Borough, I'm going to give them an A for that kit. Big fan of that one this year. And we're keeping the levels high for this next kit as well. Millwall also produced a really nice away kit this year. They've gone for the yellow design. It's got those sort of thin stripes going on it. I think this one's looking really nice as well. The colour scheme they've got going on with the trimmings looks really good on this shirt. The Husky chocolate sponsor fits in nicely. There is danger when you are playing around with the yellow kit that it can come out looking a little bit ugly, but I don't get the impression with that shirt with Millwall. I think they've done a really good job with that one. For Millwall, I'm going to give them a B+. Nice effort from them. With Forest away kit, I'm not really sure what to make of this one. It does look a little bit like two football kits fused together with the two colours they've gone for there and they're split in the middle. I like both colours individually, but I'm not sure if it's the right thing for them to be stuck together. I think that most people would agree that half and half shirts are one of the worst things to happen to modern football, and this does look a little bit like that. It also looks very similar to a kit that Forest had a few years ago as well. Although it might be the sort of kit that grows on me. For the time being, I'm not really feeling it. I'm going to give Forest a C for this effort, but maybe if I see it live, it might grow me a little bit, that one. It's a weird kit. It's a very weird kit. Now, Preston's away kit this year has been a whole fiasco going on around the club. Originally, we released this kit as our away kit for the upcoming season. A red kit, bit of a change from what we've had in previous years. But then some fans complained to the club saying that they didn't like the change of colours. And so the club then went and changed the away kit based on that to this yellow away kit, which is pretty much identical to what we had last season. I personally would have liked us to see us stick with the red kit. At least it was a little bit different than what we've had in previous years, but nevertheless, this is our away kit for the upcoming season. We've gone for yellow again. Not much thought has gone into this shirt, realistically, has it? It is a yellow top with 32 red and the Preston's badge slapped on it. It is pretty boring. There's not much about the shirt. I'm going to give it a C. I'm not feeling it this year. The QPR away kit's looking fairly smart this year, though. I like that shade of blue they've gone for. I also think the gold looks quite nice on it as well, and the sponsor doesn't look too out of place. It's one of the few kits that has actually got a proper collar on it this year, which I'm also a fan of. I'm definitely a fan of the kits this year above the ones they were having for last year at QPR, and for them, I'm going to give them a B+. Decent kits this year. And now for Reading. Now, Reading, we didn't go over their home kit in the last video as they hadn't released it as of yet, but this is their home kit for the upcoming season. I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of things I like about this kit. I think it's one of the nicest home kits that Reading have had for the past few years, actually. I think the sponsor looks good, it fits into it, the stripes look really nice on the shirt. The only thing I don't like about the home kit is that little slit they've got on the collar. I think that's a little bit weird for me, a little bit wacky maybe. I think if they had a proper collar on that home kit, that'll be up there as one of the really nicer ones this year. It's the only thing about that kit that I don't really like about it. Overall though, I'd give that one a B. It's a decent kit. And as for the away kit, it is definitely different. I was preparing this video the other night, and when I was giving that kit a ranking, I wasn't really too sure, but I've slept on it since then and I'm looking at it again, and it's grown on me a little bit. It's unique and different, so that drags it up a little bit. I think the red on black looks quite nice as well. The design scheme does look a little bit odd, but it's not the worst kit in the world. I'm going to give it a B. I think that might grow on a few people. Sheffield Wednesday's away kit's an interesting one. I was a massive fan of the home kit they had. I gave that one an A+. Obviously, they're another side who's going without a sponsor this year, and it's unique. You know, it's got a unique look to it with the pixels. Minecraft seems to be popular again, and there's definitely some inspiration that Wednesday have took from a creeper with that away kit. I like that it's got no sponsor. I'm not as big as a fan of that away kit as I am the home kit, though. I was really feeling that home kit. The away kit, I'm going to give it a B-. Not the worst kit in the world, not my favourite either. Stoke, I think, have got a lot of things right with their away kit this year, though. I really like the black on red. I think that looks really nice, and the grey design they've got going on around the sleeves as well. Micron have been really hit and miss with the kits they've been putting out this year. Some absolute beauties and some which have really not been doing it for me. But with this Stoke kit, I think this one definitely belongs in the decent tier for this, you know. I quite like it. Although it does have a similar design around the colour to what the Reading shirt has, which I'm also not the biggest fan of. For Stoke overall, though, I'm going to give that a B+. I think that's quite a nice away kit. This next kit from Swansea, I think, is definitely the divide some people's opinions. You're either going to love this one or you are going to hate it. Me personally, I'm quite a fan of this one. I think that the green and black stripes looks really nice. I like the green trimmings around the neck and sleeves. The only thing I don't really like about this kit is how close the badge and the kit manufacturer are together. They're really close together. It throws me off a little bit. It's a little bit weird. But looking at this one in action when the players are actually playing in it, I think it's a really nice kit, and I'm actually really feeling this one this year. And for Swansea's away kit, I'm going to give it an A. That might be a bit of an unpopular opinion, but I'm feeling that one. West Brom's away kit this year is bold, to say the least. Quite similar to the one they had last year with the similar colours, obviously with the green and yellow stripes being quite iconic for West Brom, a bit of a throwback kit. Once again, I'm a fan of the Ideal Boiler sponsor they've got going in there. It fits into the kit as well, you know, it doesn't look out of place. This is the sort of kit that can be really thrown off by a really just out of place sponsor in there. But Ideal Boilers, as much as of me theme it as it is. It fits into the kit quite nicely. The kit itself I think is ugly, but it's ugly in a good way, if that makes sense. It stands out, and it's one that I think will grow on quite a few people. I'll give West Brom a B for this one. And then we are finishing things off with Wigan Athletic. With Wigan, I mean, the kits that they brought out this year, they're certainly not boring, you know, they're out there. I said about the home kit, and maybe the sort of kit that grows on you over a few weeks. Looking at it now, it's not grown on me. I'm still not really a fan of that home kit, but the away kit is a level above the home kit. It is a much nicer one in my view. It's got a unique pattern going on around it. It's made by Puma. The sponsor still does look pretty out of place, and it's got the armbands on it, a similar thing to what the Lucent kits have on it. Not a massive fan of that either. If this kit had a few tweaks to it, then it has potential to be one of the nicest ones in the championship, because I really like the red and I really like the design on it. It's just a couple of things around it which I'm not really feeling. It's got some good things about it, but a few bad things which drag it down as well. For Wigan, I'm going to give it a B-. But guys, there you have it. There are my rankings for every single away kit which has been released so far. So do you guys agree with my judgments? Let me know in the comments down below. So if you did go on to enjoy the video, make sure you do leave a like. It is always massively appreciated. Make sure you do subscribe for some regular championship content. Got a lot of videos coming your way over the next few weeks as the championship is soon to get kicked off again. But apart from that, guys, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.